Hello, you canny folk. How you doing? Canny? Geordie canny. Not Scottish canny. Geordie canny. That's good. How are you doing? Today I'm going to talk about what's going on at the moment and what the emissaries say about what's going on at the moment and their kind of way of preparing us for what's coming. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. Well, what can I say about what's going on at the moment? I mean, we've come out of Christmas. You probably noticed that. We're in January, the most depressing month of the year, supposedly. It's the month in which most people choose the ones, not most people, obviously that's ridiculous. Many people who want to move off planet in their own special way choose to do it in January. In fact, many people just get through Christmas. They're going to leave. They're going to unlive themselves. I think, is that the way you've got to say it now on YouTube? They're going to become unlived, and they get through, and then in January they go, oh, fucking hell, I'm off. Yeah, and that's whether the ill and the way through Christmas, because at least they want to have a bit of Christmas tart, and then they shoot off in January. And other people who want to do it in a manual fashion, they also do it in January. January is just a depressing month, normally, but not this January. We have just come through the celebration, and I noticed, one thing I noticed was that the kind of the billboards, the social media kind of messages were all pretty much like boring. And then it's just gone, boom, off it's gone on its own little journey. This 2025 is going to be a very interesting time. So today, the day I'm recording this, I think they're just waiting for Trudeau from Canada to resign.
I intend to resign as party leader, as Prime Minister, after the party selects its next leader.
In the UK, it's in uproar. All of this thing that they've been doing to hide all of these, what they call the gangs that groom and all of that's coming out amongst other things. And so Starmer Harmer, well, he's not in a good place at the moment. I mean, really, the UK is kind of getting into this momentum of not being happy at all about what's going on. Here in Spain, the president is being scrutinised from about 360 different angles about all of the corruption and stuff like that. I mean, it's just this non-stop flow. There's rumours that the lists of the Epstein and the Diddy are going to be released and everything. And then you've got all of these lights in the sky everywhere. Everyone's got their opinion about them. You know, they're the military. No, they're not a military. They're the alien. They're a mix. And the military's trying to cover up the fact that the aliens are starting to show themselves. And so they're trying to put up their own drones to try and confuse everybody. I mean, it's just hilarious what's going on at the moment. It's wild. And I have a feeling that it's going to get wilder. So I asked the emissaries, I said, so, what do you think's going on at the moment? And they said, well, we're in what's called the kind of the waiting period. And this is how I felt. I don't know how you felt, but I felt a little bit kind of like, in that sort of, I mean, we're so used to stuff happening and we've had this kind of lull. But remember that a new president is going to move into his new role in February. Everyone's shitting themselves. They've already named the date, 21st of January, for the release the next plan/demic. I mean, it's just everywhere you look, there's all of these like foreboding warnings of stuff that's coming. So the emissary said that we're in this lull. It's just a lull where we can make sure we eat the right things, get our strength up, do a bit of gym work, and that's both on the spiritual level and the physical level, get ourselves strong for what's to come. And I do believe that what's to come is going to be very dramatic this year. I just get the feeling it's going to, it's not going to be a smooth sailing year. It's going to be dramatic. For us who have already been awake waiting, like, for God's sake, let something happen, I think it's going to pretty much happen. The whole woke thing is falling on its arse. And of course, that's because, the US now, they all know that that's not going to be tolerated, and so all the big companies now are starting to say, oh, we're closing down the DEI stuff, and we're not going to do the woke stuff. I think Disney said they're not going to bother doing any more woke films or whatever. I mean, it's, everyone's like, we better get things changed now quickly. So everybody's in this panic mode at the moment, trying to shuffle and reshuffle and stuff like that. It's quite funny to watch. Personally, I'll be very glad to see the back of the whole woke thing. I mean, it's ran its course. It is dead, and it's annoying. So that's what the emissary said, that we're in a lull, but then it's going to pick up and it's going to kick off. And all they're saying is that we're going to see stuff, most of which for us is confirmation. Not confirmation bias, confirmation. I mean, there will be some confirmation bias there as well, going, yes, well, that fits in with what I believe. But I think there'll also be stuff that doesn't fit, and we'll have to open some new doors to perception. Let's see. But regardless of what is that comes out, what it is, it's not going to be boring. I think we're going to have a roller coaster type of ride through this year, certainly up until the midpoint, where the alignments get absolutely beautiful, and then I think it'll settle down for a bit. I think it gets a bit dodgy as well toward the back end of the year again, but generally the dodgy part is the first half. But dodgy's good. In my book, dodgy is good. There's an official study that's come out, something came out of Germany, an official inquiry into the COVID and all of that. And basically everything that we said has been officially confirmed as the truth. Of course, it's not being talked about in those big circles, in the media, for example, but little by little I'm seeing it. I'm seeing bits and pieces coming out here and there. And it isn't that I want to say, I told you so. It isn't. But it's nice. It's nice when you go, okay, because we, for a long time, looked like twats, did we not? Miserable twats. And it's nice, it'll be nice to see those people who called us miserable twats and who ignored us, then to see that perhaps what we were saying had an ounce of truth about it, that we weren't that far off the mark. Let's see. But anyway, that's their business, not our business. Our business is to be here in readiness for what I'm going to talk about in the next video, which is the great healing. And I'll talk a lot more about that in the next video. So what do you think? How are you feeling about what's going on? All this infighting as well. Elon Musk calling the UK government all the shites under the sun, and everybody else is jumping on the bandwagon. The UK, look at what they're doing with all of these grooming doodahs and hiding it and stuff like that. I mean, it's incredible. All these memes of, one person who posted a meme was put in prison for 5 years or something, and another guy who unlived somebody with a thingy, and they got 6 months. It was just like, people are just going crazy because of the really weird. I mean, we are in the weirdest of times. It's like a really bad, I know it's been said over and over again, but it's truly becoming like this really badly written script, this movie that we're watching. And it's so bad. It's so unbelievable. There's no concordance. There's no rhyme, no reason. It doesn't make any sense. And this is brilliant because this is the Great Awakening happening on a serious level now. We're not messing around anymore. They're not messing around with the Great Awakening. It's time. All right, we went there first. But boy, we're going to have a good few friends with us soon. We will, as they said, we won't all unite, but we're all going to be standing pretty stocky. Standing shoulder to shoulder, doing our own thing, but many of us standing there going, stop that, it's silly, like in Monty Python. Looking forward to it. How are you feeling about 2025? What are you seeing that's happening? I'd love to know your comments in the comments. I love you all and I'll speak to you all later.